Hi, this is Mike from Minimal 3DP, and today I want to do a quick video about some of the various sites I found to find 3D models, stuff I can print and use to upgrade and mod my printers. So, just going to start off by taking a quick look at Thingiverse. Thingiverse from MakerBot, and is probably one of the older sites online for various models. According to their main page, they have 2 million plus models. I'm not sure how often that's updated, so I don't know how true that is. I'll just point out when you log into Thingiverse, right here, this remember me is the biggest lie in 3D printing. Thingiverse never remembers you, and you constantly have to log into the site. I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And one of the main deficiencies of Thingiverse, honestly, is the fact that the search is not very good. So I use BQH2 hot end on and extruder on one of my printers, and so I've been looking for models. So if I just put in BQH2 and hit search, this is what it believes the results are most relevant to me. And as you look, the first 6 models have nothing to do with the BQH2. I tried to figure out what the problem is here, and so I've run a search for BQ on the first model that came up, and this is the reason why it's here. It's printed on the BQB1. Again, I just think the search is broken. When I search for BQH2, the first results should have, or the most relevant results should have BQH2 in them. Again, why these first 6? It just says to me that the search is broken. The next site I use is called Thangs. Now, Thangs lists that it has over 12 million models, and search actually works pretty well. I'm just going to run a search, and all the models that come up on this first page are all for the BQH2, which is great. But when you start looking, what you're going to see is, as I'm scrolling through these results, all these results are just direct links to Thingiverse. So I'm going to keep scrolling down. Like I said, many of the first results are all from Thingiverse, so they're not hosted here on Things. If I keep scrolling, okay, here's a model right here. It's this BQH2 mount for a linear rail is the first model. It's actually here on Things. When I click on it, brings up a 3D view of the model, which you can rotate around and look at. My main problem with this is I actually like to see a picture of the part actually mounted on a printer, so I know what it looks like and I can get a better sense of what it'll look like fully put together. Also, I find it helpful as I'm trying to build stuff to be able to see it. So this part of things I feel really is problematic. So I said for me, Things is more useful because I like the search, and the fact that it ties back to Thingiverse is real nice. But again, this lack of pictures is something I find irritating. Printables.com is the rebranding of Prusa Printers model marketplace. And I can go up here and run a search. So there's my BQH2 search. And then right off the bat, here's something different. It does the 3D models, and there's over 260 models, but then it also shows collections as well. I just hit enter on my keyboard. Here are the models. And you'll notice that these models all have pictures, so I really like that. I can look and see how things look when they're fully mounted. But then it also has the viewer that I can use to look at the model. Like I said, go back and see what it looks like actually mounted on a printer. So I'm starting to like and starting to use printables.com more and more. The last marketplace I use is Cults 3D. Now, problem with Cults 3D, I want to point out right off the bat, is back in December there was a controversy at Cults where a creator wasn't getting paid. Cults, unlike the other model marketplaces, has both free models and paid models. And I sometimes personally like using the paid models because that way I can pay the creator for their awesome work. But again, back in December, there were some issues with a user, and quite the controversy again on Reddit, where a user wasn't paid. Now, I believe the user finally did get paid. Like I said, it wasn't handled well, and I'm still not exactly sure what the problem at Cults was. So I've used this less and less, again, because of those payment issues. Now, if I search for the BQH2, one of the nice things I do like about Cults is it tells me how many results there are. So there's 513 search results. I can search by just free models or all models in particular. All models, including the paid models. So I can run my cursor over it, and here at the bottom it says whether it's free or paid. The second model here is, at least in the US, is $3.30. And I can click on the model, and I have users where the creators can upload lots of different pictures, including renderings. So I find this, again, very helpful, all controversy aside. Now, the last site I'm just going to point out is not a marketplace. It's called Yegi. It's a search engine that searches for 3D models across the internet. For the most part, I found it's just searching thingiverse. And so if I put in my BQH2 search, it finds 1,200 models. And I can hover over these models, and it tells me where it's finding them. So this first model is on Thingiverse, second is from Cults. And I'm just trying to see if any of these. Again, there's lots of, I can use this as a search engine. So right now, for the most part, it's searching Cults and Thingiverse. And so you might find that helpful. So those are the sites I use. And again, they're not without controversy or issues. If I had to rank them, I'd probably say I usually start with Thingiverse and then try printables and Cults, and then lastly Things. And as I mentioned, my big issue with Things just goes back to the issue of there being a lack of pictures where I can look at how things look put together. The renders are pretty cool, but for me, I'm a visual person. I want to see things put together. If you have any questions or comments, please go ahead and post them, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you like my content, please feel free to subscribe, or if you have any suggestions, again, post them in the comments. I appreciate your time and hope you have a good day.